Right. Let's go. Right, so whichever position you're in, sitting on the chair or lying down on the mat, see if I can find a comfortable position. As I'm sitting on the chair, see if I can sit reasonably upright, encouraging the opening across the front of the chest or the space of the front of the body. If I'm lying down on the back, finding a comfortable position for the legs, keeping the knees bent, extending the legs away. Somebody else is in. So whichever position works the best for your shoulders and for your back. The arms relaxing down the side of the body. Sending the palms to face up and towards the ceiling, encouraging the shoulders to roll out, the front of the chest to open up, to relax. And then once you feel that the body's in a comfortable position, then focusing on the breath. So same as usual, think of that breath as dropping into the belly. So see if I can find that nice, relaxed, calming breath. Making sure there's not the chest that is rising, it's not my intercostal muscles, it's not my collarbone, it's not my neck stiffening. Is the belly expanding with the inhalation and then relaxing on the exhalation. And then taking a few deep breaths there, just noticing how the body feels or where the body is. If I'm lying down on the floor, I've got the floor underneath, so I can feel if there is more pressure on the right or on the left shoulder, behind the left or behind the right hip. If I'm sitting up, I've got the awareness, I can maybe tell that one shoulder is tipping a little bit further than the other. My head is like leaning to one side. I'm not changing anything, just noticing where the body is. If there is any stiffness, any tension, where I'm holding that tension. And then once that you feel that the breath is a little bit more settled, the body feels a little bit more relaxed, and then I'm going to focus on the arms. One arm at a time. I'm going to start raising the right arm up and towards the ceiling, and then reaching the arm as far up, as far back as it feels comfortable for the shoulder. Easing the arm back down by the side, and then with the left, I'm going to do the same. So little movement, big movement, it doesn't matter, especially if you're in an upright position, so especially if you're seated. See if I can make sure that when I'm lifting the arm up, it's not my neck stiffening and tensing to take you there. See if I can encourage the neck to relax, and then the arm just to move into the shoulder socket. So bending the elbow is going to become a little bit shorter, a little bit lighter. Opening the arm slightly off to the side is going to give me a little bit more space. So just try to find a loose movement on the right and a loose movement on the left side. If you're on your back, noticing if when the arm moves, do I feel my back arching? If the back is arching, it means that the shoulder is probably a bit stiff, or the front of the chest is a little bit tight, so the back is arching to compensate a little bit. If I can encourage the back of the rib cage to stay down on the floor, to stay down on the mat, just the arm to move into the shoulder socket. 2 more times. So raising one, easing back, nice and loose, nice and relaxed into the neck. Raising the other, and then releasing back. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. I'm going to change the direction of the movement. So still working with a single arm, but this time, instead of raising the arms straight up to the front, I'm going to swing it around the side. So I'm going to scoop the arm around the side and then up towards the head. Then I'm going to reverse back, and then with the other arm, I'm going to do the same. So a nice swing to the side, and then coming back, a nice swing with the other arm, and then coming back. It doesn't matter if you're seated or lying down, but if you feel that the shoulder starts clicking, so I can feel the shoulder clicking, so it's quite uncomfortable, it's a bit sore, it's a bit painful, just allowing the arm to come slightly forward to the body line. So I can still swing it around to the side, but without creating that tension, without creating all that tension, that pain. If I feel that the shoulder is quite mobile, it's quite relaxed, I'm going to take the arms straight off to the side. 4, 3, 2. Last one. And releasing back, relaxing the shoulders, releasing the arms. It's a little bit more movement there. I'm going to try and get the brain working a little bit more. I'm going to use both movements at the same time. So with the right arm, I'm going to reach up to the front and to the ceiling. With the left arm, I'm going to open to the side. Then I'm going to come back and then I'm going to swap. With my left, I'm going to go forward and up. With my right, I'm going to go out and round. Swapping again. With the right, I go forward. With the left, I go side. Coming back. With the left, I go forward. With the right, I go side. So see if I can try and find a little bit more coordination between the brain and the body. So noticing one way might be feeling easier than the other. The arms will tend to want to do the same as it's easier. It's an easier pattern. See if I can still try to keep the coordination going. One to the front, one to the side. Coming back, one to the front, one to the side, the other way. 2 more times. One to the front, one to the side. Coming back. One to the front, one to the side, the other way. And releasing back. Relaxing the shoulders, releasing the arms. There's a little bit more movement into the shoulder joint. I'm going to try and see if I can get a little bit more movement working through the rib cage and the neck. I'm going to raise both arms up to the front, clasping the hands together or keeping the hands apart. I'm going to start turning the head to look over the right shoulder. So I'm going to look right and then I'm going to send the arms to the right, as far to the right as I can. Then I'm going to come back to the middle. I'm going to turn the head to look over the left shoulder and then I'm going to take the arms to the left and then coming back to the middle. So I'm going to turn the head first and then I'm going to follow with the arms. Coming back, I'm going to turn the head first and then I'm going to follow with the arms. So as you're turning the head, almost like pick a point to the side of the room. And so I'm going to focus on a certain point. Can I take my arms to that point? Then coming back, turning the head the other way, focusing on a point. Can I take my arms to that point? And then coming back. So encouraging that nicer rotation. First into the neck and then feeling that rotation dropping down through your thoracic spine into the upper back. If you're in your seated position, see if you can sit as tall as possible. So I'm not squashing myself down, closing and compressing myself through. I'm trying to open myself up, lift myself up, the shoulders are down and relaxed. If you're down on your back, then allowing the mat to guide the spine. So on the mat, the back to stay nice and longer than the mat. One shoulder will be lifting off the ground as I turn, the other shoulder will be staying on the ground. 4, turning the head, turning the shoulders, reaching the arms. 3, turning the head, turning the shoulders, reaching the arms. 2, last one. And releasing back, relaxing the arms and releasing the shoulders. There's a little bit more movement. I'm going to try and see if I can change the direction slightly. So keeping the legs in a comfortable position, this time I'm going to try and work in extension. So I'm going to take a deep breath in and then as I breathe out, I'm going to send the breast and the chest forward and then up. I'm going to try and lift the rib cage, arch the rib cage up and away from the mat. Raising both arms up and towards the ceiling, and then I'm going to reach the arms behind. So encouraging that lift, encouraging that pull at the front, and then I'm going to release back. If I'm seated, exactly the same. It doesn't matter if the arms don't go very high. It doesn't have if I have to keep them down. To see if I can really try to create a nice lift at the top of the chest. So I want to try and open up, lift as high as I can, and then I'm just going to let myself relax it down. Then again, opening up, lifting as high as I can, and then releasing down. So imagine to be creating a stretch that goes from the base of your throat all the way down to your pubic bone. So I'm trying to lengthen out as much as I can, and then I'm just going to let myself relax again. If you're down on the back and you're taking the arms behind it, making sure that same as you do for the single arm, you're not forcing the movement, there is no pinching or pain into the shoulder, there is no tension or stiffening into the neck. 3, extending and coming back. 2, see if I can make myself longer and back. Last one, extending through and releasing back. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll, adjusting the shoulders, adjusting the upper back. And then I'm going to change the focus. So from the upper, I'm going to start focusing on the lower body. First thing is I want a little movement into the hip joint. So I'm going to keep the left leg in a comfortable position, and then I'm going to lift the right leg up. Supporting it with the hands. If you want, popping the band behind the leg so that I can support it with the band. And then imagine like a spoon into the bowl. I'm going to start turning the spoon into the bowl. So I'm going to try and circle the leg around. Just a little circle. Think of massaging the inside of the hip. If I'm seated, obviously the movement is a little bit more limited, but I can still do the same. So I can pick up the leg with the band or with the hand. I'm just going to try and circle it around, come back, and then circle around again. So see if I can try and loosen up the hip joint. So finding a nice smooth movement, nothing pinches, nothing grinds, nothing catches. Just picturing the head of the femur, the top of the leg, just turning gently into the hip socket. Massaging it through, easing some of the stiffness and some of the tension from the hip. I'm going to reverse the circle. I'm going to circle the leg around the other way, noticing any different. I might find that going around this way feels better or worse. The leg starts getting a bit heavy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing down. Allowing the hip, allowing the leg to relax. I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the left side. So bending the knees, curling that left leg up, supporting it with the hands or with the strap, whichever is easier. And then I'm just going to start circling the leg around. So same as on the other side, and notice the movement in the hip joint. So see if I can try and allow the hip joint to move, the leg to move into the hip socket, making sure that it's not grinding, it's not pinching, it's not catching as it's going around. And then these legs might be feeling, again, stiffer, lighter, heavier. It's whatever it is. If I need a little rest for the arms, I'm just going to have a little rest and then go around again, and then a little rest and then go around again. 3, 2, 1. Reverse in the circle, going around the other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the leg, releasing the hip. It's a little bit more movement into the hip joint. I'm going to try and see if I can get the hips and the back to work together. So shuffling the feet and the knees nice and close together. If I'm sitting up, I might want to hold on to the side of the chair, or I might be wanted to hold on to one side of the chair. I'm going to start to push in both legs over to one side. So I'm going to try and send the knees over to the right or to the left, easing the legs back to the middle, and then I'm going to push them to the other side. So think of a little rotation, this time happening further down into the back. If I find, especially sitting down, the legs feel quite heavy, so I'm struggling to get them to move, using the arms. So I'm going to hook the hand onto the side of the leg. I'm going to pull the leg as far across as I can. I'm going to ease back to the middle, and then with the other hand across, I'm going to pull them the other way, and then coming back. So see if I can encourage, again, a little bit more movement into the lower back. It doesn't need to be a massive movement, just to think of a nice relaxed one. If you're lying down on the back, notice if the movement is a rotation or an extension. If the legs start moving away from me, they will tend to pull me forward, so the back will start arching. See if I can be aware of the legs just moving to the side. So the back is just turning, the hips are turning, the back is turning with the hips. 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the hips, releasing the legs. It's a little bit more movement into the lower back. I'm going to stay with the lower back, but this time, same as I did for the thoracic, I'm going to go into a little flexion extension. So tilting the pelvis back, I'm going to press the lower back down into the ground, and then tilting it forward, I'm going to lift it away. So I'm going to press it gently into the mat, and then forward and away. If you're sitting on the chair, exactly the same. Think of a little movement coming from the hips. So I'm going to try and lift myself right onto the seat bones, and then I'm just going to let myself roll back onto the tailbone, and then trying to lift myself right up onto the seat bones, and then down onto the tailbone. To see if I can think of a little movement coming from the bottom of the spine. Same as before, if I feel that I need a little support, I might use the arms to help me give a little push to create that movement. And then, especially if you're lying down on the back, see if you can think of the least amount of effort to create that movement. So I'm not clenching the bum, I'm not stiffening through the inner thigh, I'm not tensing into the neck or into the jaw. Think of just a little tension coming from the front of the belly, creating that tilt forward and back. So nice and loose down the lower back, into the back of the hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the hips, releasing the back. I'm going to change the direction of the movement. This time I'm going to go for a little hip hitch. So as I lie down on the back, or as I'm sitting up, I'm trying to hitch the right hip up towards the right side of the rib cage. The left hip towards the left side. So if I'm sitting up, I'm going to picture one of my cheekbones lifting away from the chair, coming back, and then the other doing the same. If I'm down on the back, see if you can think of the side of the belly shortening. So I'm going to try and shorten the right side, hitching the right hip, shortening the left side, hitching that left hip. So feeling the movement this time, going gently from side to side, still focusing on the lower back, still trying to massage into the lower back, into the back of the hips. And then notice the movement. One side might feel really easy. One side I can really feel the side of the belly creating the movement. On the other side I can't. On one side I might find that there is a little bit of a pinching when I go in that direction. Making sure that I'm not forcing the movement, so I'm not causing pain. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release it back. Centering the hips, bringing the hips back to the middle. And then I'm going to start focusing on the leg. Again, try to see if I can find a little bit more connection into the front of the hip. So grabbing hold of your pillow, your towel, ball, whatever you got. I'm going to place the pillow, place the towel, place the ball between the top of the right thigh, the middle of the thigh, and my right hand. And then from there, what I want you to think about is to think of squashing the ball with your hand. So I'm going to push down with the hand, I'm going to squash the ball, I'm going to ease that pressure, and then I'm going to squash it again. So as if I was trying to flatten the towel. As you're pressing down, see if you can make sure that the pressure is coming from the palm of your hand, not from your wrist. So the wrist is not going into that extended position that is going to create pressure, that is going to create pain. I'm just going to push it down gently that way, push it down that way. Once that you've got that tension through, what I want is to try and think of the leg. So with the hand, I'm going to push down into the ball. With the leg, I'm going to try and push up into the ball. So I'm going to try and get the two to work against each other. Then releasing, and then again. So I'm going to try and, if I'm sitting down or if I'm lying down, I'm trying to lift my right foot off the ground. And then at the same time, I'm trying to push down with the right hand. So the leg is fighting to come up, and then the arm is fighting it to keep it down. So see if I can be aware of that little resistance into the front of the hip. The foot might not come away from the ground. So see if I can just be aware of that connection into the front of the hip, into the groin, as I'm trying to lift that leg against the hand, against the pressure of the towel, against the pressure of the pillow. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, I want you to keep the pressure, so keep trying to lift the leg, push down with the hand. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Relaxing the arm, releasing the leg. I'm going to stay with the right leg, so hopefully a little bit more connection into the hip there. I'm going to take a deep breath in, and then this time the arm is staying nice and relaxed. I'm going to try and lift the right foot off the ground, and then I'm going to pop it back down. I'm going to lift it up and then pop it back down. So this time it's just suddenly feel a little bit lighter, a little bit easier to lift, as I'm lifting against no resistance. So nothing is pushing the leg down, so the leg feels a little bit lighter, feels a little bit easier to move. I'm going to try 2 more times. Bring it back. Last one. And releasing down. Relaxing the hip and releasing the leg. I'm going to try and find the same connection on that left side. So I'm going to rest the ball on top of the left thigh, the left hand, the both hands. It doesn't matter, just enough so that I can push down. And then I'm going to start pushing down with a hand, release the pressure, pushing down again, release the pressure, pushing down again, releasing the pressure. And then keeping the pressure again, going on and off with the arm. Once that I feel that I've got the control, feel that the towel is bulky enough, the pillow's in the right position, then I'm going to start the fighting with the leg. So with the leg, I'm going to try and lift up, with the hand, I'm going to push down. Ease back, with the leg, I'm trying to lift up, with the hand, I'm going to push down, and then ease back again. 3, and back. 4, and back. Focusing on that left hip, to see if I can try and be aware of that tension into the front of the hip. 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one, I'm going to stay there, so keep pushing the leg up, pressing down with the hand for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, relaxing the hip, releasing the arm. I'm going to try and see if I can create that lift. So focusing on the same connection at the front of the hip, I'm going to take a deep breath in, and then as I breathe out, I'm going to lift that left foot off the ground. Easing it back, and then trying to pull it up again. It's a little bit easier this time as there is nothing pushing me down, so the leg feels a little bit lighter. I might not be able to lift it very far. See if I can be aware of that little squeeze at the front of the hip, trying to create that lift. 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. There's a little bit more connection through the front of the hip, or the front of the leg. I'm going to try and work through the inner thigh this time. So I'm going to put the ball, the towel, the pillow in between the knees, or my hand between the knees. It doesn't matter. This is something that I can squeeze again. I'm going to try and walk the feet nice and close together, and then from there I'm just going to try and squeeze the ball, squeeze the pillow between the knees. So this time I'm going to try and press in, feeling the inner thighs tensing, ease that pressure, and then I'm going to squeeze it again, and then release the pressure, and then squeeze in again. As you create the squeeze, see if you can picture the tension going all the way up through the inner thigh into your pelvic floor. So think of your front passage, men and women, no different. Imagine to be lifting everything up towards the inside of the body. So see if I can try and create a little bit better connection into my pelvic floor muscles too. Noticing any difference between the right and the left inner thigh. I might find that one side seems to be really working, the other side it feels weaker, or it doesn't seem to be working as hard. The focus on the side that it's not, doesn't seem to be working. See if I can find a better connection on that side. Using the hands, the same as before, to help me create a little bit more pressure, and then easing the pressure gradually back out again, and then squeezing it in, and then easing the pressure back out again. So focusing on the tension through the inner thigh, not just when you press into the ball, but also when you let go of that pressure. See if I can release the pressure gradually. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. I'm going to squeeze it in. Hold the pressure steady there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Is that pressure? Try again. Squeeze hard. Hold it there. Think of popping the ball between the knees. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is the pressure. One more time. Squeeze as hard as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing the pressure. Pushing the ball to one side, giving the legs a little walk, giving the legs a little tap, a little shake. It's a little bit more connection to the inside of the leg. I'm going to work in reverse. This time I want it into the side of the hip. So if you're seated, it's quite easy just to use the hands. As I can reach easily into the side of the leg, I can use my hands. If you're lying down, you will have to kind of like hunch forward. So it's easier if you use the band of the strap. So I'm just going to put the strap, but quite loose around the knees. So I'm just going to put a little knot or a little bow, but making sure that the band is kind of like quite floppy, quite loose, not too much, or otherwise your legs will have to go very wide, very far apart. And then once the band is tied, what I want this time is the reverse that I did with the ball. So instead of trying to squeeze in, I'm going to try and stretch it out. I'm going to push out into the strap or push out into my hand. See if I can this time find the connection into the side of the hip, into the side of the bum. Then I'm going to release that pressure, and then I'm going to push out again. And then release that pressure, and then push out again. So it doesn't matter if it's not a stretchy band, and if it's, you know, if it's a solid belt. What I want is to just try and find the connection into the side of the hip, into the side of the bum this time. And then same as I did for the inner thigh, I might find that with my right leg, I can really push out, I can really feel the right hip working, but my left is not, or is not that much. I'm going to focus on that left side to see if I can push a little bit harder, see if I can find a better connection. You can use the hands to give you a little feedback. So I could put the hands into the side of the hip, the side of the bum, as I push out into the band to see if I can feel that gentle tension wrapping around to the side of the hip or wrapping around to the side of the bum. And then I'm going to ease that tension and then pushing out again, and then ease that tension, and then pushing out again. As you keep the pressure going, just notice anywhere else within the body other than the hips. Do I feel my neck tensing? Do I feel my jaw clenching? Do I feel my back stiffening? Can I try and relax them? And then just to think of all of my efforts of being down into the hips, into the legs. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, I'm going to push out. I'm going to hold that pressure for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that pressure. Try again. Push out. Hold the pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ease the pressure. Last time, pushing out. I think you're splitting the band as hard as you can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back. Easing the pressure of the band, undoing the band, pushing the strap out of the way into one side, allowing the hips, allowing the legs, a little walk, a little shake, making sure that the hip doesn't feel too stiff, it doesn't feel too tight. And then I'm going to try and stretch into the hip. So bending the knees, walking the feet up and towards you. I'm going to step my feet nice and close together, and then letting the soles of the feet come together. I'm going to allow the knees to drop out, to flop out and relax. So as I lie down, I'm just going to use the weight of the legs to drop out to the side, encouraging a gentle stretch going through the inner thigh and the groin. Making sure that nothing is pinching into the hip, so nothing is catching. If I'm sitting up, then with my hands on the inside of the legs, I'm going to push the knees out as far as I possibly can. If you're lying down on the back and you feel that the hips have settled, the legs have settled, I feel that I can get a little bit more of a stretch through. I'm going to reach the hands on the inside of the legs, and then I'm going to push out with the hands. Keep a steady pressure on the legs, and then same as you did for the ball, try to squeeze with the legs against the hands, with the hands against the legs. So I'm not closing the legs are staying in the same position, but I can feel the two fighting against each other. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, to stop resisting with the legs, and keep pushing with the hands. As if the knees wants to open up just a little bit further apart. Hold them there. One more time. Pushing down with the hands, or squeezing together the knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, to keep pushing with the hands and stop resisting with the legs, as if the legs want to open up a little bit wider. And then easing back. Bring the legs all the way back in, releasing the leg, releasing the hip. And then I'm going to try and take the stretch into the side of the leg this time. If you can lift the leg, especially if you're seated, I'm going to lift the leg, I'm going to cross it over the other, and then I'm just going to pull through. If I find that it's too heavy, I can't get it across, it's too much, I'm just going to hook the hand onto the side of the leg. I'm going to pull the leg across to the side, and then I'm going to turn towards the leg. See if I can create a nice stretch down the side of the hip and into the back. If you're lying down on the back, I'm going to extend the other leg out of the way, and then pulling one leg towards me, I'm just going to gently pull it across the front of the body. Same as usual. Feel where you need the stretch the most. So I feel that I need it in my hip, I need it in my bum. I need my bum to stay reasonably close to the floor so that I'm keeping the stretch on the leg. If I feel that I need it more into the back, then I'm just going to let my bum lift and then twisting as far around as I feel that the stretch is going into the back, so where I feel that I need it the most. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, releasing the leg, extending away. Other leg, I'm going to bring it up. Opposite hand around the leg, pulling the leg across, deciding if you're going to keep the stretch on the hip, on the bum, or if you want to go a little bit deeper and then taking it across the back. If I'm seated, the same as I did on the other leg, on the other side. If I can, I'm going to cross it over and then pull through. If I can't quite lift the leg, I'm going to push the legs across and then turning towards the leg. See if I can try and picture a nice stretch going through the hip across into the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back. Returning the legs back to the middle. Releasing the legs. I'm going to try and open up into the back of the leg. So grabbing hold of your band, grabbing hold of your strap. I'm going to let the band drop, and then I'm going to tuck it under the right foot. And then same as usual, I'm going to straighten up the leg, and then keeping the leg as straight as possible, I'm going to gently start to pulling it towards me. See if I can create a nice stretch going down the back of the leg. So it doesn't matter if the leg doesn't go very high. See if I can try and encourage the stretch through. If I find that I can't, my leg is really heavy, I can't get there, I'm just going to sit on the edge of the chair. I'm going to straighten up the leg down so the leg is as straight as possible, and then instead of trying to pull the leg towards me, I'm just going to try and ease my way forward towards the leg to see if I can still create the same stretch into the back of it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release and back. Relaxing the leg, switching the band around with that left foot. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So straightening up the leg, keeping it down, leaning forward. If I feel that lifting the leg is just too heavy, it's just too much. If you're down on the back, the same as on the other side, you're trying to keep it as straight as you can, and then gently bringing it towards you. See if I can ease some of the tension of the hamstrings, back of the knee, back of the calf. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release and back. Releasing the tension from the band, relaxing the legs and relaxing the arms. So when you're ready, bending the knees, walking the feet back up and towards you, rolling over onto one side, and in your own time, pushing yourself all the way back up into sitting. Finding your comfortable seated position, so sitting on a block, on a raise, arms behind. If I feel that I need a little support, I feel that I'm just going to roll back. Otherwise, hands onto the side of the chair to give me a little support if I need. I'm going to try and find the seat bends and then trying to lift myself right onto the top of the seat bends, rolling the shoulders back and lifting up through the top of the chest, the fingers send the chest forward, and then up and towards the ceiling, creating that nice lift of the front and looking forward, looking up and looking back. And then I'm going to release my way forward, relax my way down. And again, I'm going to retract the shoulders, squeezing the shoulder blades together, pushing forward from the top of the chest to see if I can try and create a little bit more lift to the front. And then I'm going to ease my way back down again. Last time, extending up as high as you can. And then releasing back. One hand to the belly, one hand to the back. Take your back. Give yourself a clap for that. Any question or anything, remember you need to unmute yourself so that I can